During the March 27th Nintendo Direct Mini, Square-Enix announced that they were dropping a free Bravely Default 2 demo. As they have done for the demos of both previous Bravely titles, the demo contains a unique storyline that is separate to the main storyline. You've probably noticed that Bravely Default 2 is actually the third main Bravely Default game. What I think they're doing is keeping it quite similar to the Final Fantasy games, where each of the main numbered titles is set in a different world with different characters and no continuity, leaving direct sequels with more confusing names, like Final Fantasy X-2 and Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII. Anyway, the demo starts off with a quick overview of the story so far. Not surprisingly, the 4 crystals are back, an old FF staple. We're then introduced to our 4 new heroes. We've got Gloria
of Musa, at your service.
The classic princess with a problem and the one who is tasked with restoring balance to the world. Then we've got Seth.
Good to meet you.
Elvis.
Alrighty!
And Adele.
Oh, hi!
Each with their own unique accent. We've got Standard English.
To see dear old Savalon half submerged like this is, well, it's a shock.
Standard American.
It's because of one of the crystals, right?
Standard Scottish.
I could do with a little something to wet the old whistle.
And
I hate to break it to you, but we have more important things to be getting on with.
is that Irish?
The first drink will taste all the sweeter once we've done something to earn it.
They all seem great, but no one's ever going to compare to Adia. I don't know how I'm going to play a Bravely Default game without her. But getting back to it, the environments are beautiful. Bravely Default 2 retains the same art style that we've seen in the previous 3DS entries of the series, and it of course looks all the more clean and crisp on the Nintendo Switch. The transitions in and out of buildings and between rooms is super smooth. Party chat is also back, where the 4 main characters will have a bit of a gas bag about current events, or they just have a chat about something kinda random, but it's a nice optional way of finding out more about the characters or the world. Just like Bravely Default and Bravely Second, this game features the job system. In the demo, you start off with White Mage, Monk, Freelancer, Vanguard, and Black Mage. Each character has their own unique outfit for each job. And in addition to the main job, you can also set a sub-job. Unlike previous entries in the series, when you're running around on the world map, the other 3 characters will now trail after you. A nice little addition that I appreciate. Gone are random battles, with enemies instead appearing on the world map. You also have the ability to hit them with a sword to gain the upper hand at the start of a battle, meaning that when you start the fight, you'll have an additional brave point. Speaking of brave points, unsurprisingly, the unique battle system after which the whole series is named makes its return. You can use the brave command to take up to 4 turns in a row, with the drawback of leaving you 4 turns in debt. So use it wisely. Alternatively, you can use default in order to store extra turns for later. If you happen to have a short attention span, like myself, or if you just want to do a lot of grinding, thankfully there is the option to multiply the battle speed by either 2 or 4 times. Very useful. But be careful when you do this, especially when combining with the brave mechanic. Getting too confident might land you in trouble. Speaking of, now that enemies are running around with you on the world map, if you do find yourself in a spot of trouble, you'll probably have to actually run away from them back to the nearest town or city in order to heal, most likely at the local inn. You can also take on side missions, here called sub-quests, by talking to certain people with blue speech bubbles above their heads. Once you accept a sub-quest, a new objective marker will appear in addition to your main story objective marker, but in a different colour. You're able to take on an additional sub-quest, however it will show up as a different colour again. I immensely enjoyed both Bravely Default and Bravely Second, and from my experience of the demo thus far, I am definitely looking forward to Bravely Default 2. If they bring all the best elements from the first 2 games onto the current hardware of the Nintendo Switch, it is bound to be a success. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Let me know, are you super excited to play Bravely Default 2? Have you played the previous entries in the series? Have you downloaded and played the demo yet? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Also feel free to click on that circle with my face in it to subscribe to my channel and follow that video link for a related video. Thank you so much everyone, and I will see you next time.